If we did everything that I've mentioned in this list, you'd arrive in the gym, you'd start hitting yourself, you'd have your eyes closed, you'd be insulting machines, you'd keep looking at a heart monitor to make sure your heart is in the right place, and it would be between the hours of 4 p.m. and 6 p.m. Time and middle of the ball, asshole here. It's Sunday and it's dumb day, and today it is literal. We really need to get to the point. I mean, I'm never going to do this. I'm not this type of character, but wouldn't it be great if we could actually name and shame and I could tell you where I read or heard these things? But I was on a website the other day and it literally said this in black and white. And I was like, it's the end of the world. It's the end of the world as we know it. The pandemic came. Aliens are going to arrive soon. We've got all the craziness in government and politics and everybody's fighting everybody else. And then I read this and I was like, 2020, it's just a year. We just got to throw it in the toilet. We've got to throw it in the toilet and we've got to flush the chain. I'm hoping that you already know never to listen to tips such as this, but just in case you do not know, it is Dumb Day. These are dumb, and also, these are the 10 stupidest gym tips you will ever hear. Right, in at number 10 that inspired this whole thing, it was an article on a reputable website. Now, obviously, it was a guest column, so they've reached out to someone, but this person apparently had a bunch of qualifications, like, I'm a ZXC, whatever that means, like a robot. But it said, you should only train between the hours of 4 p.m. and 6 p.m. to balance when your test levels are at the correct whatever. And I was like, what does that mean? What does that mean? Now, A, that doesn't buy into anybody's existence. Nobody can live their life that way. Oh, Brad, do you want to come to the cinema at 4 p.m.? I cannot. I must go to the gym. All right, do you want to come at 5:30? No, I will be there till 6 because I'm some kind of android. That is absolute poppycock. Now, I'm sure there's some kind of science that backs up if you train at a certain point, your hormones will be at the perfect level. But only, never train at any other time. So if you train at 3:58 p.m., you're an idiot and you don't know what you're doing. Like, if you don't know, your testosterone levels are highest in the morning, then they kind of go down in the day, not by a lot, by a little bit, and then you sleep and they go back up again. That's way too much. It's not that crazy. So could you manipulate them? I assume so, but only train between this 120-minute period. I don't want to live my life that way. In fact, that sounds like a crap way to live. Imagine that. Imagine you're having the best time of your life. Maybe you're on a date with your girlfriend or your boyfriend or your partner, and you feel so happy, and then bleep, bleep, sorry, babe, I gotta go to the gym, it's 4 p.m. You're at a funeral. Like, we'll stand together now and say our respect. Beep, beep, sorry, gotta go. This is absolute nonsense. Absolute nonsense. Train whenever the hell works for you. Whenever the hell works for you, rubbish. Number 9, again, this was said to me in the gym years and years ago, and I actually Googled it, and I found other people who have also had this said to them. I never felt so backed up, like I was in a mob. It's like mob mentality. Yeah, let's go riot and smash stuff up. And I'm paraphrasing because I can't remember, but it was like, don't drink water 30 minutes before you go to the gym because you want all the blood to be in your muscles. And I remember looking at this guy like, are you talking Swahili? What is that? Do not drink water because you want blood in your muscles. I mean, look, if we're going down that pathway, you may as well say, don't read a book because your arm will fall off. I mean, there's as much logic to it as that. Don't go outside because you'll kill your nan. Like, this is exactly the same comments. What does that mean? Don't drink. So if you're dehydrated, right, you forgot to drink all day, you're dehydrated, you're on death's door. Again, a lot of death in this video. And your doctor's like, please drink. You're like, no, I need to go to the gym in 30 minutes. I don't understand the benefit. Be hydrated. Hydrate your stuff all the time. Don't overdrink because that can be a thing, but certainly don't underdrink. Make sure you're getting your water in. If you don't know, human beings are basically water. We have a huge percentage of that we're made up. You need it. It's not going to affect your training. In fact, surprise, surprise, being hydrated will actually help. Number 8, we'll go for a more classic one here because sometimes people still think lifting heavy makes you bulky. No, it doesn't. We all dream this was the case. If we could just go lift heavy and we turn into Arnold Schwarzenegger, everybody would do the dance of joy, be jumping around like this. And people are like, oh, wow, look, he's just discovered the massive secret. It's not true. Male, female, I don't know, goat, elephant, giraffe, whatever you are, lifting heavy does not make you bulky. Your genetics are gonna, I said the word genetics, oh my gosh. You remember in the Muppets or Sesame Street, they used to have word of the day, and Big Bird or whoever would go, I don't know, Scrabble. And then Elmo would pop and go, Scrabble, that's the word of the day. Because in my version, Elmo's like the devil.
Today's word is patience.
Oh, Mr. Dad, almost ready to play. Come on, let's play.
Like, that's what, if I say genetics, the comments go nuts. Oh, genetics have been disproven. Bull chib. Some people are genetically disposed to get bigger. They just are. But still, the point being is that unless you are one of these people, you can lift as heavy as you want. It's going to come down to diet. It's going to come down to rest. It's going to come down to your natural ability to be able to hold muscle, your bone structure. There are all these things. Training heavy is important because the stronger you get, yes, you're probably going to utilize your muscles a bit more. But it's not lift light, get toned, worst word ever. And it's not lift big, get bulky. It's nonsense. It's madness. That's what cavemen thought. Number 7 is the fat burning zone. Now, look, there is actually some science behind this. I can't even remember what it is now. But a lot of people say that if you get your heart rate in between 130 and 140 beats per minute, you're going to burn more fat. But it's also a pile of crock at the same time. Because unless you want to have the most boring workout ever, when you're like this, check. I mean, I guess it's kind of good, but also it's just nonsense. Maybe you're doing HIIT. If you're doing HIIT cardio, you better hope your heart rate is higher than that. Otherwise, you're not doing it properly. And if you're doing steady state, do you really want to get to the point where you're at 127, you're beating yourself up for it? And does it even work? I don't necessarily think it does. I tried it for a little while. Did I burn any more fat? Not particularly. I mean, you can go out there and read it. It's quite fascinating to read, actually, because it will teach you, and your brain will get bigger. Not bigger. Imagine that's how it worked. Whoa, he's read so much about fat burning, he's just walking around like Krang from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
We are very low on power, and we need to replace a number of vital electronic components.
But I just think, again, some people will say when you do cardio, you need to hit this very specific point. And this one isn't even as funny as the other ones because a lot of people buy into it. And if you do, I'm sure there is benefit, but I think it's just over promoted too much. I'm always reading articles about the fat burning zone and do this, do that. Just get your cardio done and do it to the intensity that you know it needs to be done. It's as simple as that. Number 6 are that machines are your enemy, right? If we were talking about like the, post-World War II, when we move into the Cold War, it's like Russia versus America, right? And instead of nuclear weapons, it's machines. Machines in the gym are your enemy. And if you use a machine, it's like McCarthyism. I am going to have you arrested and I'm never going to see your ass again. Machines are great. Machines are awesome. You know why they're good? Because there's many variations and they're really good at isolating specific muscle groups. And if you have hammer strength machines, when you can actually take plates and put them on, even better still, but I understand some gyms don't have them. You should be doing free weights. You should be doing compound movements. You should be doing body weight exercises. And yes, you should be using machines. I don't know who decided that machines were bad. It's just not fair. It's not right. And if machines were bad, why do gyms everywhere get packed with machines? Do you think gym managers sit down and go, right, what can we do to really tank this place and make sure nobody has any kind of progress? We can get a bunch of machines. And they all ring each other up like, oh, we're doing the machine conspiracy. And like, yes, we are. Because again, the person running it is just like stereotypically evil. I don't understand it. I mean, the reason free weights are really good is because you'll use stabilizer muscles. So if you're doing a bench press, you're not just working your chest. There'll be other little tiny muscles that you'll also be developing, and that will help your vanity muscles, your bigger muscles, but you need to be working all of them. But if you do want to isolate, then yes, use a machine. It's literally what they were built for. Number 5 is squats are bad for your knees. This one is the wrong way round. Like, can you hurt your knees doing squats? Yes. But can you hurt your knees getting out of bed in the morning? Yes. Can you hurt your knees walking around the place? Yes. There's lots of ways that you can hurt your knees. Can you hurt your knees playing a sport? Yes. Does that mean you shouldn't do the sport? No. It means that you figure out who you are as a human being, and if you have hurty knees, then maybe you don't squat. But it's not the squats that are hurting your knees. You've just got damaged knees. It probably means your form is bad. Now, some people do not squat, and I advocate this 100% because, again, it hurts their knees. Yes, don't squat. Again, listen to your body. If somebody rang you up and said, here's £1 million, you're like, I don't want £1 million, you'd listen. So listen when your body goes, ow, ow, ow. It's that old joke. You go to a doctor and he says, it hurts when I do this. Doctor says, don't do it then. It's as simple as that. But this is what annoys me about it. Don't be the guy that goes, well, I don't squat because it hurts my knees. No, you don't squat because you're wuss. And nobody likes squatting. Of course you don't. You're basically a donkey. Squatting is like being a donkey. You've seen donkeys, right? They get all this like baggage and cargo thrown on them, and then they have to crawl on hot deserts, but nobody cares because it's a donkey. I mean, it's literally an ass. That's what you are when you're squatting. You're throwing a heavy load on your back, and you're pushing yourself down to the ground and then standing back up. And the entire time your brain is going, don't do this. This isn't as fun as eating ice cream, and then you have to get into a war with your brain. So no, squats are no fun. I mean, I personally love them, but you know what I'm saying here. But don't blame it on your knees. Just accept if you don't want to do them, then you don't have to do them. Nobody's got a gun to your head. And if they have, just turn to them casually and say, dude, this is way too overblown. It's just squats. Number 4 is don't bother training your calves, right? So apparently, if you want to train your calves, there's no point because genetically, they're only going to get to a certain size. So you can't actually make them bigger by using weights. What do you think the calf muscle is? The bicep muscle will grow if you work it. The chest, the pectorials, the latimus dorsi, your trapezius, all these things will work, but the calf muscle is developed from a very special kind of skin that will actively fight back when it comes to hypertrophy. It's hilarious. What a great idea. Again, this just comes down to that nobody wants to train their calves. I have crap calves. We did a video about this. And sometimes people in the comments go, Simon, your calves are crap. I'm like, this doesn't offend me. Why do you care about my calves? It's like when people go and do karaoke, you're just a regular dude, you're not a professional singer, and you go and do karaoke and someone goes, well, that was crap. What were you expecting going to the karaoke night? For Britney Spears or Beyonce to just bust out a tune? No, I'm just some random ass dude doing karaoke. Some people can carry a tune. Some people just enjoy the experience. And it's the same with calves. You've got rubbish calves. Oh, all right. Look, I can get on with my day with absolutely no problem. But you get it all the time. You should work your calves. You should work your legs harder. I'll do whatever the hell I please. If I want to be Johnny Bravo, I will.
Well, actually, I'm Johnny. Johnny Bravo.
You won't believe number 3. You won't believe it. I promise you somebody said this to me once. They misunderstood the science. Google it. Other people have said it. I did it again, and it made me happy to think one guy I read actually did do it, and I laughed for years. So muscle breakdown is that you work your muscle out in the gym, right? We've talked about it. You work your muscle out in the gym, you go heavy, you plow, and you break the muscle fibers down, then it recovers with nutrition and rest, and that's how it gets bigger. So somebody had decided, hearing that, they had gone, well, if the idea is to break the muscle down basically through trauma, which is what it is, I'm going to hit myself with things like a stick. Have I got a stick? I don't, but I got this pen. So I'm going to do this, but with something a lot bigger, and I'm going to hit my muscle, and I'm going to try and break down the muscle group. That's what he thought it was. Don't know why I did that. That's what he thought he was. Let's just move on. That's not how muscle breakdown works. Don't hit your muscles with things. Ever. Number 2 is that you have to yell really loudly when doing your last rep. Now, look, does shouting help? Of course it would help because it's like an exertion. It's the same with breathing. Like when you're doing proper breathing in the gym and you breathe in and then when you go to push out, you go... It helps because it's an exertion. So if you really can't, get that last bicep curl up or whatever, and you go, oh, of course it's going to work. Does that mean that you should do it? No. Does it mean that it's essential? No. Is it one of the most annoying things in the gym when somebody yells out so loudly you think they're being murdered? Yes. That's all I've got to say about it. It's a stupid gym tip. If anyone is telling you, come on now, scream, unless you're in a private environment, that's cool. Can we just have a little bit of respect for other people in the gym? It's like the dude that feels like he has to drop every single weight. So he's not focusing on the negative rep at all. He just drops it. Then he walks around like this, like, oh, I did a really good set. Oh, I'm so big. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. We just want you to shut up. And number 1 is fantastic. Never look at yourself in the mirror when working out. Why do you think there's mirrors in the gym? Now, look, they have been taken over by gym bros the world over who just stand there and pose like, oh, look at me. And if they want to do that, great. If it's going to give you an ego rub, flipping, good for you, man. I'd rather you were happy than sad. But the reason you have workout mirrors is so that you can watch your form. That's why they're there. And hardcore bodybuilding gyms have them so people can do bodybuilding poses. We're not talking about that. But they're there so you can watch your form. That's why they're in gyms. That's why they're everywhere. So you can keep an eye and make sure you're doing it right. And yes, you get the added benefit of you seeing your muscles all pumped. But yes, there's articles that say you should never look at yourself in the mirror in the gym. If you do, you have broken all the rules. Why do we have to make gyms such horrible places? Should they be fun? Should they be places we look forward to going to? If we did everything that I've mentioned in this list, you'd arrive in the gym, you'd start hitting yourself, you'd have your eyes closed, you'd be insulting machines, you'd keep looking at a heart monitor to make sure the heart is the right place, and it would be between the hours of 4 p.m. and 6 p.m. If that's what the gym has to be, I'd tell you right now, I quit. And there you go, the stupidest, dumbest things I've ever heard, and they're out there. You don't believe me, you go Google them. But Sunday is dumb day, and I'm going to die on this hill. Make sure you like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, ding, ding, hit that bell. I got a Patreon, got Instagram, got Twitter, got merchandise, simonmiller.bigcartel.com. You're not going to listen to me saying it. You want to be able to click there. It's all in the description. Thank you so much for the support. It's the end of the week. Have a great Sunday, and I will see you tomorrow.